Today we're starting our series on the tarots. For that, I'm using the original 1909 tarot. This is a rendition of what we know as the Raider Waite tarot. The designs in these cards were done by Arthur Edward Waite and Pamela Smith. Let's give you some background. Arthur Edward Waite was an English poet and magician. He joined the Order of the Golden Dawn towards the end of the 1800s. He was a Freemason. He joined Freemasonry in 1901. He joined the Rosicrucian. He joined all of these organizations because he wanted to obtain knowledge about secret things. And this includes the secret symbols and messages that we find in the tarot deck. So let's talk a little bit about the tarot deck here. We have 22 major arcana in a deck of 78 cards. So we're going to, and this 22 arcana are numbered from 0 to 21. So that's why we get to 22. We're going to go over the major arcana first, and then we will start going over the other cards and how to read them. If you're a beginner, I suggest working with the major arcana primarily. The major arcana work as archetype. Each card represents some kind of value, some kind of idea. For that reason, whenever we pull a card, whatever symbol we find can actually reconnect us with the energies that are behind it. I will do my best to give you the main concept for each card, but then I will also actually go through the design, through the drawing, and figure out how to help you read it. One thing that you need to be aware of, like with a lot of divination, tarots are not meant to read your future. Tarots will not be able to tell you what kind of future you will have. The reason is simple. We live in a multiverse, which means for each scenarios that can be existing, we can have a multitude. We can have infinite results that we can obtain from that. Therefore, although the tarot may give you what's likely going to happen in the future, it will not give you an exact measurement of what's happening in the future. So what's the best way to approach the tarot? First of all, the question cannot be like, will I own property in 2025? The tarot will not answer that. The tarot instead will tell you how to achieve that type of goal. So for instance, if I do my tarot reading and I ask the question as following, what can I do to obtain this goal, which is buying property in 2025? And that way you will be able to know exactly how to get there. The tarot will give you a description on how to do it. There are a couple of ways that we can do this. I'm not going to do a formal reading, but technically you could go and put a card for the past, one for the present, one for the future, and one as an overall advice or look at the situation. You can also arrange this as a pentagram, so you can pull 5 different cards. And depending on the direction you're starting, not only you're able to establish past, present, and future, but it actually will tell you cause and effect and present state, possibility of what could happen, and what will be the best outcome. We're going to go over these techniques at the end of the course. I prefer focusing so far on the single cards first. So I'm going to separate this video from the next one. The next one will be on the first card, the Fool. So make sure you watch the next video to get started with this course on tarots.